I'm Jan Risher with The Advocate, and I am here to talk to you about the East Baton Rouge Library's One Book, One Community. This year it's called Tasting History by Max Miller, and rather than just a book that you read, it's a book that you get to do and really share in a community experience because you get to cook. And what's more about community than sitting around a table eating food that you've prepared? So I made medieval mead a few weeks ago, and the second thing that I have tackled is a Korean dish. If you know me, you know how much I love a K-drama. For real, I watch them every night. And so I decided to make a dish called Gajeyuk, which is from about 1670 in Korea. That was the Joseon Dynasty. If you watch K-dramas, you know what I'm talking about. If not, check it out. But the really cool thing about this recipe is it is from a cookbook from that era, and it was the first Asian cookbook known to have been written by a woman. And the simple recipe says, from history, slice pork in thick and short pieces, then marinate with soy sauce and oil, coat it with flour and fry it, serve it with black pepper. So what Max Miller does, he researches all this, and he has a huge YouTube following where he makes a lot of these, though I don't believe that I have been able to find his version of making this one. Here's what I'll tell you about making this recipe. It is super, super simple. He's done a great job of giving a contemporary version of this recipe. All you do is you take a pork tenderloin and you slice it into about 1/4 inch thick slices, and then you marinate it with soy sauce and sesame oil only for about 30 minutes. So I was a little skeptical as to would this really be that big of a deal? But the wonderful news here is that it is fantastic.
Okay.
It's better than I expected. I even had a friend who knows all about living in Korea, she lived there for 6 years, try it, and she agreed that it was completely wonderful.
Crispy on the outside, moist on the inside.
So a little bit about the woman who wrote it, Jang Gye-hyang, I believe is how you pronounce her name. She was of a very high class in Korea, and her father was a scholar who taught people, men, how to read and write and draw. And so she would sneak into the classes and listen, and so she learned how to read, write, and draw. And then she had a whole bunch of children, like 7 sons. And so as she was aging, she wrote this when she was like in her 70s, but at that point she wanted them to be able to, the wives really, let's be honest, to be able to prepare the food that her children enjoyed. But she went beyond that. By that time, Korea, the Joseon Dynasty, had been taken over by a Manchu-led dynasty out of China, and so Korea had fallen upon very hard times. And so there were a lot of families who were not like hers, of plenty of means, who didn't have anything. And so her house was situated so that she could oversee the village, and at night she would have her team looking to see whose homes didn't have smoke coming from the chimneys, and she would know that they were hungry, and so she would have her team prepare this wonderful food and go and share it with the people who were hungry. So she really was a woman before her time. The bottom line here is try it out. It's a recipe worth sticking around for 400 years. Take the pork tenderloin, slice it in 1/4, marinate it in soy sauce and sesame oil, and then you simply bread it in whole wheat flour, and I do believe the whole wheat flour makes a big difference, and then fry it in oil. And you can serve it with a nice little sauce of garlic and ginger. Yummy, yum, yum. Enjoy.